On June 14, 1800, at the Marengo field, a peaceful lunch of the French army was suddenly interrupted by the sound of alarm trumpets. While the soldiers were enjoying their meal, a shocking piece of news turned everything upside down. The Austrian army had launched a surprise attack. General Napoleon Bonaparte, who was in the middle of savoring his favorite fried chicken, immediately stood up, abandoned his meal, and rushed into battle. Could this brilliant general turn the tide against the enemy pressure and protect the unfinished lunch of his troops? While Napoleon Bonaparte was preparing for a serious battle, his army was busy enjoying fried chicken and bread. Imagine the scene. General Desai was strategizing while still munching on his food, and General Ney casually asked for more cheese. When the Austrians stormed in, Napoleon could only shout, "Stand up and fight! Don't make me eat alone!" And so, instead of a fierce battle, we had a food fight. Get ready for some hilarious and unexpected moments as history turns into the most unconventional feast. Who knows, maybe Marengo will be remembered not just as a battlefield, but as the greatest peace banquet in history. June 14, 1800, near the village of Marengo, witnessed one of the most renowned battles in European history during the Napoleonic era. This wasn't just a fierce clash between France and Austria, but a rare display of military genius by an extraordinary commander, Napoleon Bonaparte. The Battle of Marengo was not merely a victory. It marked Napoleon's powerful comeback, turning a near-certain defeat into an unexpected triumph. Background and forces. At that time, after securing significant victories in Italy, Napoleon returned to France to consolidate his power, leaving his forces under the command of other generals. It seemed that the Italian front was stabilized, but the Austrians were not ready to give up. General Michael von Melas, the Austrian commander, was determined to reclaim northern Italy, aiming to regain control and weaken Napoleon's influence in the region. With around 30,000 troops under his command, the Austrian forces outnumbered the French, who had about 25,000 soldiers. The flat terrain surrounding Marengo became the backdrop for a fierce confrontation, where every maneuver could determine the battle's outcome. On the morning of June 14th, the Austrians launched a confident and overwhelming attack on the French front lines. The situation became extremely dire as the French were gradually pushed back, and Napoleon had yet to fully grasp the seriousness of the situation. The Austrian attack and initial challenges. The first gunshots echoed, and the Austrians launched a relentless assault. French units were forced to retreat, falling into defensive positions. Despite being outnumbered, the French tried to maintain their organization, but their defense quickly began to crumble. At this moment, Napoleon was busy rallying his scattered units to stabilize the battlefield. However, the Austrian attack threatened to disrupt his initial plans. As the battle dragged on, the French found themselves in a precarious situation. The Austrians were closing in, and many believed victory was already in their grasp. But the real story was just beginning, the timely arrival of General Desai. At the tensest moment, a glimmer of hope emerged on the horizon. General Louis Desai, commanding a force of about 6,000 troops, arrived just in time on the battlefield. His presence was not just a necessary reinforcement, but the final spark in the darkness. Desai quickly grasped the situation and, together with Napoleon, devised a plan for a decisive counterattack. Napoleon, a master of tactics and psychology, immediately seized this opportunity. He reorganized the French troops, positioning them strategically for an effective assault. At the same time, he motivated his soldiers, emphasizing the importance of this victory, not just for the Italian campaign, but for the future of France. The daring counterattack and a remarkable turnaround. While the Austrians were still basking in the confidence of an assured victory, Napoleon prepared to launch a bold counterattack. Exploiting the enemy's complacency and exhaustion, he and Desai orchestrated an assault on the Austrian left flank. Under Desai's decisive command, the French launched a powerful offensive, forcing their opponents to face unprecedented pressure. The Austrian forces, already weary and struggling to maintain coordination, quickly fell into disarray. Their front lines were breached, and panic spread through their ranks. Sensing victory, Napoleon ordered a full-scale attack, denying the Austrians any chance to regroup. This vigorous counteroffensive turned the Battle of Marengo from what seemed like an Austrian victory into a devastating defeat. Napoleon's victory. As night fell, the Austrians were forced to retreat in disarray, leaving the battlefield to the victors. The Battle of Marengo became one of Napoleon's most spectacular victories, solidifying his power in Italy and marking the beginning of a new phase in his military career. This triumph not only bolstered Napoleon's prestige, but also dealt a severe blow to the Austrians, putting them at a disadvantage in subsequent negotiations. The Battle of Marengo was not just a military win. It showcased Napoleon's strategic genius and his ability to turn the tide in moments of apparent hopelessness. With a numerically inferior and nearly defeated army, Napoleon transformed despair into opportunity, and through his decisive actions, he penned a new chapter in European history. The Battle of Marengo, which took place on June 14, 1800, was not merely a military victory for Napoleon Bonaparte, but an event that shaped his destiny and altered the balance of power in Europe. Let's explore the profound impacts of this battle, from solidifying Napoleon's personal prestige to influencing the entire political landscape of Europe. Strengthening power and prestige for Napoleon. The victory at Marengo was a clear testament to Napoleon's extraordinary military prowess. Regarded as one of the most brilliant military strategists, he used his skills to turn the tide from the brink of defeat, defeating the Austrian army in a stunning counterattack. Imagine a young general on a sweltering summer day, seemingly facing defeat, only to reverse the battlefield situation within the last few hours. This solidified Napoleon's image as an outstanding leader, full of resilience and adaptability. After the victory, Napoleon was not only celebrated by the military, but also gained strong public support in France. The soldiers trusted him, the public admired him, and the powerful began to factor him into their political calculations. This laid the foundation for Napoleon to consolidate his power in France, enabling him to implement strong political and social reforms in the years that followed. The victory at Marengo highlighted one key thing. Napoleon was not just a general, he was someone capable of leading a nation. Impact on the military. Changing warfare strategies. Marengo was not an easy victory. It underscored the need for flexibility and quick response in warfare, and Napoleon proved that he was a master of this art. Initially, the French forces were pushed back by the Austrians, but thanks to Napoleon's timely and skillful adjustments, they shifted from defense to offense, regaining control in a matter of inches. This strategy later became a core principle of Napoleon's subsequent military campaigns. No one could have foreseen that, just a few hours earlier, he was preparing for a tactical retreat. Moreover, the victory at Marengo built a strong sense of loyalty within the army towards Napoleon. His soldiers not only respected him as a capable commander, but also saw him as someone who could turn the impossible into reality. That loyalty transformed Napoleon's army into a formidable and united force, ready to follow him into any battle, no matter how dangerous. Shifting the balance of power in Europe politically, Marengo was not just a military victory. It shifted the entire balance of power in Europe. By defeating Austria at Marengo, France established stronger control over Italy, significantly weakening Austria's position in the region. This was not just a battlefield loss, it was a severe blow to the honor and power of the Austrian Empire. This victory caused a ripple of concern among other European powers. The expansion of France under Napoleon's leadership made these nations feel uneasy, leading to the formation of new alliances against him. Marengo was not the end, but merely the beginning of further conflicts between France and other European empires. This opened up a dramatic and tumultuous phase in history, where Napoleon constantly faced military alliances aimed at curbing the rise of the French Empire, setting the stage for future campaigns. The victory at Marengo became a solid foundation for Napoleon to continue his other military campaigns. He not only defeated the Austrians, but also built confidence in his ability to confront powerful empires like Russia and Britain. This marked the beginning of Napoleon's chain of military successes in the early 19th century. Subsequent victories helped him expand the French Empire, and not long after, Napoleon crowned himself emperor in 1804. But behind the glitz and glamour, did he foresee the path he was on would lead him to the heights of power? Or did this victory push him into a game he could no longer stop playing? Marengo was not just a battle, but a turning point in European military history, marking the emergence of one of the greatest military strategists. This victory was a testament to Napoleon's creativity and ability to read the battlefield, and it continues to be studied as a prime example of flexible warfare tactics. The historical legacy of Marengo. Finally, the Battle of Marengo left a lasting legacy. It was not only a symbol of Napoleon's military excellence, but also affirmed his role in history. For those who love military strategy, Marengo is a masterpiece, a lesson on changing the tide and optimizing resources in war. Historians continue to refer to this event as proof of Napoleon's innate talent, who turned what seemed like a disadvantageous confrontation into a resounding victory. But the victory also carried a dark side. The intense rivalry between France and other European powers continued for over a decade. It sparked continuous wars and set off Napoleon's unrelenting ambitions that would ultimately lead to his downfall. Marengo was a magical blend of audacity and calculation, of strategic talent and incredibly bold decisions. This victory not only reinforced Napoleon's position, but also marked a turning point that brought him to the peak of power, and it was also the beginning of the great storms he would face. And perhaps this is what makes the Battle of Marengo so mysterious and compelling, not just to historians, but to those who are fascinated by tales of the rise and fall of great figures in history. So, you've joined us in exploring the Battle of Marengo, a conflict that was not only a military event, but also a symbol of the great military talent of Napoleon Bonaparte. This victory not only changed his fate, but also profoundly influenced the history of Europe. Have you ever wondered whether the strategies that Napoleon applied could be relevant in the animal kingdom? How might powerful and intelligent animals utilize similar strategies to survive in the wild? If you enjoy captivating stories like this and want to delve deeper into the marvelous creatures of our planet, be sure to subscribe to our channel right now. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you won't miss other exciting videos where we will continue to explore the mysteries of the animal world, from animal battles to unique survival strategies. Join us on this fascinating journey of discovery.